Welcome everybody to the Latin Nerds Network. My name is Jose, and this is my review for Day Shift, the newest Netflix, straight to Netflix movie coming out, I believe, in a couple of weeks. Now, I normally don't do reviews for these kind of films. I really don't go to the premieres or the screeners anyway because it's Netflix. Let's be honest. I can watch it for free. Why take my time to go to the theater? But I'll make an exception every so often. And then this one I made it because it was just, I got one of the representatives invited me out there. Jamie Foxx was there presenting the film, talking to some of us after the fact. James Franco was also there, which is pretty cool. They're the stars of the movie, so they did their thing. So free food, couple of drinks. All right, you got me. I'll go. I'll make the effort here. So this is not one I was. Listen, I'll say it's because I hold Netflix film, just all streaming films in general, at a different standard than theatrical release because you have theatrical, you gotta go somewhere, spend $20 a gallon of gas to get somewhere, and the time and the money it takes to get into a theater, so it's different, right? But Netflix, you just stay at home and chill, Netflix and chill, and just watch it, not don't waste any time, and see it for free, right? So you have to be more forgiving sometimes. But I do have a pie chart, if you will, a pie chart in my head as far as Netflix films and just streaming films in general, where 10% of the films are actually great films, very good films. They get Academy Award nominated, etc. They're really legit films. About anywhere between 40 and 50% are just straight crap. This is straight crap. They're terrible, right? Let's be honest. And there's about another 40, 30, 40, 50% of it, depending, where they're all right. They're watchable, entertaining enough, some good stuff about them. They're not great films, but just enough to keep you entertained for an hour and 32 hours, whatever it is. Movies like Red Notice, or recently Gray Man came out last week, which is, they're all right. Extraction, the last Jamie Foxx movie on Netflix, Power, they're all okay. That has moments, just things that are enjoyable for the most part. They're not great films. Let's keep it real. And this is no different, and so I'm going to review it with the lower standard attached, and I'll get to that in a second. But listen, for me, Nazis, zombies, vampires, when they get the comeuppance, I'm all in, right? I enjoy that kind of shit. I really do. It's dumb fun. That's what you should expect out of a movie, particularly a movie like this, where it's basically about vampire hunters, right? Let's be honest. Here we have Jamie Foxx, even Snoop Dogg's in it, which is pretty cool, where he's a vampire hunter, and, he used to be part of a group called the Union, which is an organization almost like Men in Black, right? Of those who hunt down vampires, if you will. He got kicked out because he doesn't know how to follow the rules, and now he wants to find his way back in the Union because his ex-wife is threatening to leave with his daughter unless they have extra money. So he figures the only way to get extra money is to get back into the Union. And this part was cool because in the Union, you get paid by the fangs you collect. The older the vampire, the more rare it is, more powerful, you get more money for him. So it's kind of an interesting little system, a payment system, which I liked. So he wants to get back in, but unfortunately, when he's back in, is with conditions. He has to work the day shift because he can't make as much damage in the daytime as he can at night. And he's assigned a union representative. In this case, it's Dave Franco, who is just a desk jockey, a little cowardly lion, if you will, who doesn't want to be out in the field. But his boss makes him, so what choices he have to ensure that Jamie Foxx is following the rules and all the codes it takes for a union member, to exist in that organization. They go hunt vampires, eventually fight the big baddie, and yada yada yada. We've seen it 1,000 times, and it sounds dumb, and yeah, honestly, it is dumb. But again, I expected nothing else, and it's funny because this movie has a lot of cool things I thought really could have really elevated this film a lot more than what it was. Unfortunately, the story, like I said, it lacks. It's silly. It's dumb. It knows what it is, and that's fine. I can appreciate that. But things like the Union, which is not really explored enough to really make it interesting, right? They kind of mention it. He goes there one time. You find out how he gets paid, of course, all these rules and stuff, and talk about these divisions of vampires to some degree. But they kind of gloss over all that, and that's interesting stuff. That would have been cool to really get deep into, right? This world is it's world building, right? Kind of like what John Wick does with the whole Continental and his organization of assassins and how that works. This one needed that, and the villain part, whatever, she's there, she's she hides in plain sight as a realtor. She's trying to buy up land to kind of unite this brotherhood of vampires, if you will. She's found a way for them to become, I guess, almost like it's taking something from play Daywalkers, so they can own the night and now own the day, so to speak. But there's members of the higher ups of this vampire world or whatever which don't approve. There's some friction there, but they don't really explore that. They mention it, but they don't get into it. And again, that would have been interesting, but nope, whatever. They spend more time just with Dave Franco and Jamie Foxx going from place to place, and kind of a buddy cop movie, which isn't very funny, and that's the problem. Nobody was really laughing in theater, so I know it just wasn't me. It had some funny moments, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't devoid of any humor. But it wasn't really that good, that interesting to kind of keep you engaged. You kind of just waiting for the next action scene, which is really the big plus about this film. The only thing that really has entertainment value is it has cool action. There's no doubt. Like I said, you want to see some vampires get their ass kicked, some cool kills. This movie does deliver, and it's a great, and from the beginning, great scene with this like 7-year-old grandma who ends up being a vampire, and Jamie Foxx is trying to kill her. That was kind of cool, very cool scene. The way it's shot, choreography is cool. There's another great scene with these two brother vampire hunters team up with Jamie Foxx for a mission. That was a cool little scene. It has one ridiculous, exaggerated scene with the bullet. But I'll allow it because if you're gonna go exaggerated and ridiculous, make it fun, and it kind of did. So I enjoyed that, and the way the vampires move, they contort, when they're fighting. It's filmed very cool. What the movements I like a lot. That was cool and interesting. And again, there's not a lot of action as much as I would had liked to have seen. But when they do give it to us towards the end, I say probably the second half, it picks up, and yeah, it's fun. From that sense, it's fun, right? Who doesn't want to see a vampire get fucking shot up and torn up and whatever? That part's really cool and it delivers. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, by all means, you should check it out. If this doesn't sound like your kind of film, I get it. Don't bother. And if this was a theatrical release, I would say don't watch it. Honestly, don't watch it. Wait for it to come on the streaming will be my recommendation. So that being said, we're skipping step one because it's coming straight to streaming. So yeah, it's worth it. 2 hours of your life on Netflix at home for free. Why not? Bottle of wine, the girlfriend next to you, or you on your phone doing something else. You look up when it's cool action, look back down to the phone when it gets to the the story aspects of the bit, which is again lacking. So you're not gonna miss a whole much, to be honest with you. Stay for the action. That's basically it. That's my recommendation to you. If that sounds like your cup of tea, yeah, definitely go watch it. Otherwise, skip it. You're not gonna miss much. So don't worry about it. And it's the way it sets up in the end could set up for good possibility for a sequel. And I wish those aspects were there. And I don't want to mention it because I don't want to spoil anything. But what happens to a couple of the characters? It would have been cool if they were like that from the beginning and they were integrated in the whole union stuff. That would have been cool. Again, they just didn't do enough. What a shame, because there's potential here. But at least the action's good. So you're gonna get some entertainment value just because of that. So if you're gonna watch it, check it out. Comment below. Buy it, beware. And trust me, it's not a good movie, but I get it. If you do, of course, comment. Let me know what you guys thought. And of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.